Morning. I was reminded about the quote from, I believe it was Blaise Pascal, a French philosopher in the 1600s, who said, and I'm going to butcher the quote, but something along the lines of, all of man's problems stem from their inability to quietly sit still in a room. And it's absolutely true. It also reminds me of another saying that if you can't be alone with yourself, you're in bad company. So what is it that resonates? Well, I find a lot that if you dive into people's behavior, even my own behavior, how much it is focused on avoiding life. It is a ability, a ingrained pattern to not feel what is happening in this moment. And in a sense, you are actually running away from what is happening in life. Now, it's actually quite logical because it starts when we are born into this world. As a young child, of course, life is all new. Everything is pretty overwhelming. And you could say that the intensity of our emotions is just too much for us to deal with. And especially if you have a parent that is used to avoiding their feelings. If a small child, a baby, starts crying because it's just a little bit too much, everything that's happening, then the father or mother most likely will try to distract the child by making all sorts of sounds or playing with a toy. So that is in a way teaching the child to be distracted, to not feel the discomfort. Or if the parent might think that the sound of crying from a child is bad, it could even be as dysfunctional that the parent either mentally or like in a vocal way explains, or just energetically that it doesn't want the child to cry, resulting in suppression. So this is a pattern we learn at a young age already, that we either deal with emotions that are uncomfortable in a way that we cover them up by finding a distraction, or that we suppress them. In our daily life, and we see it a lot around us, and I also see it in my own patterns that are still lodged into the system, we try to avoid uncomfortable feelings. And that is exactly what Blaise Pascal talked about, our inability to simply sit still. What is happening? Well, there is a certain feeling which we label, we judge as bad, undesirable, and we try to find a way to not feel it. That can be simply done by checking your phone, going out and finding what's in the fridge, eating. It can be watching television. It can be something a little bit more extreme, like taking drugs, or pondering about the future, about this holiday that we're gonna go on, and then everything will be right. So it's an avoidance strategy to be with the discomfort in this moment. Another way might be actually completely suppressing it. So you're running away. It's like, okay, I don't want to feel this. You're aware of that you're feeling it, and you are going to do all sorts of things to not be confronted with the discomfort. And what is it actually that is happening? Well, when we talk about this quote of not being able to sit still in a room, when you sit still, when you are bored, these uncomfortable feelings that have been suppressed for many years are boiling up. It's like having a beach ball and you push it under the water, and you've been doing this for years and years and years. You've been trained this pattern, and it's just a matter of time before you become too tired to suppress it and the ball needs to surface. So actually, we are fighting life the entire time. Vast majority of our actions is actually trying to run away from this moment, from the discomfort that we are experiencing. when you are able to gradually expose yourself and allow these uncomfortable feelings to come up, you actually see that they over time simply weaken and weaken. It is a bit of a joke, but I often say that if you want to speak in these terms, you could say that life only has one goal, and that is simply to be experienced. And if you don't want to experience it at this moment, if there's something in the system that says, no, I don't want to feel this, then life says, that's fine. I'm very patient. You'll get it back in one form or another. So the discomfort is lodged into the system, into the body, and at a certain moment it will surface again. And that is why a lot of people seemingly get triggered by small things, and the reaction is out of proportion. It's because old pain, old unresolved feelings have been suppressed and they come up. So by gradually exposing yourself to these uncomfortable feelings, which is very simple, simply start sitting on a bench or go for long walks and allow whatever to come up, you are releasing the pressure of this beach ball that you're trying to push under the water. And I like the term to call it to get comfortable with discomfort. Simply be with it. No need to fight it, no need to resist it, but just notice what kind of patterns happen that you yourself have over time learned to not feel and even fight whatever is happening. Simply be with it, and you will notice that there's a certain, you could say, space around the discomfort, resulting in you actually be able to be with it unconditionally, just like a parent would, in the best case, be there for a child when he or she is uncomfortable and starts crying. No need to distract the child with a toy or making all sorts of sounds. No need to tell the child that he or she shouldn't be crying. Simply be there for him or her. Do similarly to yourself. Be there for yourself. Be completely available. Give it whatever arises, whatever discomfortable feeling arises, your unconditional attention. And over time you'll become simply more and more comfortable with discomfort. And this results in you being able to be comfortable in any moment, because all the residue of suppressed emotions over time weaken and weaken, resulting in complete okayness in whatever this moment brings you. I hope this has been helpful. I wish you a great day.